Personally, I think Pirelli need to completely reevaluate their tyres. I mean, it's becoming that teams aren't even thinking about the racing anymore. They have to think so much about the strategy.
I would say they're not right to reevaluate it, because it's creating decent racing, but I think Pirelli should leave it as it is, because that was just China. Maybe in Silverstone we'll be like, well, the tyres are lasting forever and ever and ever. We just don't know.
I can't blame the teams, but I think it's ridiculous. When we paid for that, we expect to get the minimum that we're promised, and the minimum we're promised is to see all 22 cars run at least one lap in each session.
No, I don't think it's right they reevaluate the compounds. To keep drivers in, that's fundamentally wrong myself.
They shouldn't be in Q1 in the first place if they're not going to be making a time. They shouldn't be doing that.
I'm pretty annoyed, because at the end of the day, they're given these tyres and they've got to qualify. You've got people who are paying money to be there, and they're not seeing a classical Q3 showdown.
My personal view of it is best expressed by one of the great motivators, one of the great philosophers, one of the great Formula One personalities. I'm of course talking about Gary Barlow. He said in a song that I'm sure you've all heard, to have a little patience, and that is what I would say to all of you lot.
It was the right decision by some of the teams to do so. It just didn't make very good viewing for you and I.
Tyres the way they are, then you're not going to set the laps on them, and on the qualifying, that's the problem that you're going to have. But I'm not too good with the tyres. I'm not too happy with them being this different. I'd like to. Maybe last year was a lot better when there was a bit more closer, a bit more consistent as well.
That has to go to Daniel Ricciardo, who drove an absolutely amazing weekend. He was definitely my driver of the race.
And Raikkonen with a damaged nose. He surprised me. I would have thought his car would have slowed down dramatically, but no, it didn't seem to affect it that much.
Joe Bianchi, there's not much to say really. He is outclassing Max Chilton not even 10 to 1. He's just totally going for it, and I don't think we're surprised about that though.
Ricciardo in the Toro Rosso.
Jenson Buttons. I wasn't expecting the McLaren to be leading the race at some point. I mean, I know it wasn't going to last, but
Fernando done quite a good job dicing back through the field. I thought that was quite good pace, because him and the Ferrari were at 1, so can't knock them. I thought that was really, really good.
Charles Pic was another one who I thought did well. He was ahead of Jules Bianchi. Pic did a good job in China to run ahead of him for most of the race, and I think he only finished a few seconds behind him at the end of the race.
Hulkenberg was quite surprised. He was up there.
Alonso really ran the race. He was always, once he got ahead, he was always going to win. The Ferrari looks a lot better than most of the other cars over the whole weekend. Qualifying, race pace.
Ricciardo, tyres, and tiche, which is a Hoik word meaning that's good. That's really good.
Alonso, Scuderia, and tense.
Major letdown.
Exciting, chaotic, and manic.
tyre problems everywhere.
Interesting. Not exciting.
Alonso, different class.
It was sort of strangely boring, exciting.
Pit stop strategy.
It's too long. Stewards the FIA take too long to do anything.
It'd be nice to see what goes on in those stewards' meetings. But the really controversial ones, I'd love to see it. But for mundane things, I would just say no.
would I want to hear them speak for a whole hour deciding whether people were going to get penalties for DRS usage under yellow flag conditions just to find out that they're not?
I think they should do that, let everyone hear, because they already do the drivers' radios and the teams' radios. Do the race director as well. It's just a natural step, and it'd be really good for the fans.
I think it would be good to see the steward making their decision.
In some respect, yes, but it would have to depend on the severity. So, but if it's during the race and we actually have the opportunity to see and have explained what happened, then I would like that.
I think on the face of it, it's a really good idea. The problem, I suppose, for Formula One is that we always see the stewards will refer an incident to after the race, and then it takes about 3 hours after the race before we actually get a decision.
I think it would be interesting to have some sort of camera in the steward's room or something, so we could see what was going on and perhaps hear them discuss it.
Would it be interesting to see what their reasoning is? Would you really want to hear in the race 3 old men talking, oh, well, I think it was behind the yellow flag. No, I don't think it passed the yellow flag, I think it was a green flag.